Disclaimer. Hey guys, what is up? This is Sinister Kato back again with another video, so let's get right into the intro.
Big Deku get it on Macy Gray. Yeah. Raindrops, drop top, smoking on cooking the hot box, fucking on your bitch, you thought.
I'm sorry that I haven't posted about this series in a long time, but I want to be honest and say that I actually forgot about it, but I'm back again with it and ready to start the video. Last What If, Deku had finished training with All Might and earned his ultimate prize, One for All. After his training, he was given some words of wisdom about his new quirk and felt a difference on power. He also attended the UA exam and got one of the highest mark, and now he will attend the school. So after waiting for a month, Deku is finally going to UA and is ready to start a new school. When he entered UA, he was amazed by its design and mostly about the big doors, if you know what I mean. When Deku saw where his class would be in, he was surprised to see his best friend, Bakugo, in the same class as him, but more importantly having a fight on the first day of school. Ida was telling Bakugo about manners and that he shouldn't disrespect the school by putting his legs on the table. Bakugo then told Ida that if he doesn't get out of his face, he will blow it up till no one can recognize it. Obviously Ida was shocked to hear this. Meanwhile, Uraraka came up to Deku and told him that he remembered his messy red hair and strong built body. Deku then started to smile and asked her if she was doing fine since the incident. Ida then also sees Deku and properly introduced himself by apologizing that he was rude to him on the day of the exam. Deku then replied at Ida and told him that he doesn't have to apologize about such little things, but Ida insisted and stated that Deku is more of a hero and stronger than he is, and how he took out the robot with his fire fist. This then caught the attention of every student, but mostly Shoto, who is reminded about his fire side and daddy issues. Uraraka then interrupted Ida by introducing herself and how happy she was to attend UA and have a great time. Aizawa then comes in with his sleeping bag and told everyone that if they were only attending the school to have a great time or fun, then they should leave whilst they can. The whole class looked at him and wondered who he was. Deku then smiled and said that he is an underground hero called Eraserhead and will be their homeroom teacher. Aizawa then looked at Deku and told him that he was very smart. He then looked at everyone and demanded that they will go and change to have a quirk assessment. Uraraka then asked about the welcoming assembly, to which Aizawa replied by saying that it doesn't matter as long as they aspire to be great heroes when they grow up, and that also the last person to arrive on the school field will be expelled. Everyone then started sprinting around the school to the changing room. While everyone was changing, Deku revealed his body that had a lot of burnt scars. Kirishima then notices this and started to ask how he received them. Deku replied that he once overused his quirk and accidentally burned himself. Kirishima then tells Deku that he should take care of himself more carefully, and scars are a man's pride. We now go to the quirk assessment, where Aizawa explains everything. Alright, listen up, he said, all of you are here today to show if you have what it takes to be a hero. He then looked at Deku because he scored the highest for the practical exam. Aizawa then told him to go up to the front and tells him to throw the ball using his quirk. Deku then informed Aizawa that his quirk is kinda of a mess because he might accidentally destroy the balls with his fire. Aizawa understood and told Deku that he has until the end of the class to think of a plan to use his quirk without destroying the ball. Aizawa then told Bakugo that he can show everyone else instead on what to do. Bakugo then smiled and told Deku that he should watch and learn. He then threw the ball, and while it was flying it made a large impact. Bakugo scored over 705.2 meters. Deku was surprised and said that Bakugo had the perfect quirk for that kind of thing. He also analyzed that the explosion helped a lot, so he was thinking if he could try and do the same thing. Deku then told Aizawa that he was ready to do his turn and has thought of a plan. Aizawa then smiled and told Deku that he should use his full potential. Deku then first tested what he was going to do. He absorbed some heat from the air and channeled it to his right arm, making a large explosion. This then shocked Bakugo and was angered that Deku is trying to steal his quirk and only moves. Deku then smiled and said that he'll only use it once. He then went up and absorbed more heat until he was sweating bullets. "Damn you, Deku. You're stealing my quirk now, are you?" yelled Bakugo. Deku then replied, "Don't worry, Kat-chan, I'm only using it for this test." Bakugo then grumpily said that Deku should only use it once. Deku then absorbed more heat, then with his quirk and the combination of one for all, Deku threw the ball and shouted, "Nuclear Star." Deku's hand released so much firepower that everyone was pushed back. Bakugo, however, was shocked what he just witnessed. Deku's explosion was much stronger than his. The ball then traveled very far, and that it reached the distance over 897.3 meters. This then shocked everyone and started to praise Deku for his idea. Bakugo then got mad and asked Deku since when he could do explosions like his. Deku then replied that he just thought of it while watching him. Everyone cheered for Deku, but Todoroki's attention was on how Deku released that much power and how he managed to pull the move off. This then also shocked Aizawa and thought of how much potential Deku could have in the future and that he needs to lower his heat because he nearly destroyed the ball. Then we go to the speed test. Deku took off his shoes and was ready to go. He then smiled at Ida and told him to look out. Ida then smiled and said that he doesn't need to worry about such a tiny explosion. When the timer began, flames came out of Deku's legs and made him dash through the race like a rocket. He then scored well under 3 seconds, while Ida only scored about 3 seconds. Ida was shocked at how powerful Deku's quirk was and asked him if had any tips on releasing more firepower. Deku then smiled and told Ida that he should focus on how much power he can release and try to increase it slowly, even if it passes his limit. For jumping, Deku obviously jumped through it easily because he can fly using his quirk. Then at the end of the test it was revealed that Deku and Momo were tied for the number 1 place. Everyone cheered for them, and Aizawa also announced that he won't expel anyone since he saw potentials on all of them. After this, the students was then told to go back and get changed. Uraraka then came up to Deku and asked for his name since she was confused if it was either Izuku or Deku. Izuku then told her that she can choose either one of them, but rather than that she chose to give him a new nickname, Hiryu, which means fire dragon in Japanese. So a few hours later, 1A was introduced to All Might and that he will be teaching them about how to be heroes and save people. Everyone cheered for him. All Might then told them to settle down and to get changed for the battle trial. When Deku came out wearing his hero costume, it caught the attention of All Might because he could see where the design's inspiration came from. Then after everyone showed off their costumes, it was time to pick what the battle trial will be about. All Might then explained that the students will be split between hero's side or villain side. Deku then got interested and wondered which one he will get. After All Might explained everything, he started to pick people's name from a box and told them what sides they were on and which one will be their partners. Deku's partner in this timeline was Shoji, and that he will still be going against Bakugo and Ida. When the battle started, Shoji used one of his dopply arm to check if anyone is near and to find out where they are. Deku then told him that there is no need to do that because he'll make the building cold and that Bakugo won't be able to sweat and use his quirk. Deku then put his hand on a wall and started to absorb every heat of the building. Then in a matter of seconds the building started to get colder and colder till lice started to appear. Everyone watching was yet again surprised at Deku's quirk and how much it could do. Todoroki then saw what was happening and was thinking if Deku could possibly have the same quirks as him. Minutes later, Deku then decided to blow some steam off since he absorbed a lot of heat. Then both students entered the building just to be ambushed by someone. Damn it, Deku. First you steal my quirk and now this? Your quirk is so annoying. Bakugo yelled,
Sorry Kat-chan, but you can't defeat me.
Deku smiled.
My quirk is far superior than yours.
Bakugo then started to get angry and tried to attack Deku, but Shoji grabbed Bakugo's arms and put him on a headlock. Deku smiled and said,
Sorry Kat-chan, but you need to work on your anger issues.
Bakugo then managed to get out of the headlock, but only had Deku to manipulate his explosion to somewhere else. If you guys are wondering how, it's because Deku can control fire, even if it's not his, so that means he can just control Bakugo's explosion and redirect them somewhere else. When Bakugo couldn't use his explosion, he tried his last resort, which was his gauntlet. Even if I don't have my quirk, I had this gauntlet especially made filled with my sweat. Bakugo laughed whilst pointing it at Deku. All Might overheard this and ordered Bakugo to not do it. Meanwhile, Deku told Shoji to go to Ida while he takes care of Bakugo. As Shoji left, Deku then explained that whatever Bakugo do, it will be useless because Deku can just counter them. Bakugo laughed and said that it doesn't matter because he would be the one to have the last laugh, and he pulled the trigger, releasing a large explosion. Deku then smiled and manipulated the explosion to make large fire fists. Due to the smoke released, Bakugo quickly went behind Deku and tried to counter him, but Deku just used his fire fist to punch him. Bakugo was shocked at how strong Deku was and how even his trump card couldn't do anything. Deku then told Bakugo that he has a few seconds to start running before he is brutally beaten. Bakugo laughed and said that he accepts his fate and starts to run towards Deku. Deku then smiled and started doing some weird movements with his hands and shouted, "Burning serpent!" A large fire snake then appeared out of thin air and started going towards Bakugo, which pushes him back and burned parts of his body. Deku then walked towards him and started to treat Bakugo's injuries with some bandages he had, then quickly wrapped him with his capturing tape. He also took Bakugo's other gauntlet and tossed it outside just in case Bakugo wakes up and escapes. Meanwhile, Shoji and Ida were both sparring each other as Deku arrived. When Deku entered the room, he told Shoji that he'll take care of Ida while he takes care of the bomb. Ida then didn't hesitate to go back and protect the bomb. Deku started to take his shoes off and looked at Ida while smiling. Shoji then understood what Deku was doing and started run towards the bomb. Ida was confused to what was happening, and as Shoji approached him, Deku brutally tackled him out the window using his quirk, while Shoji wrapped the bomb with capturing tape. Then an alarm began to ring, and a hero team this time. Bakugo and Ida was taken to nurse's office because they were out for so long. Everyone cheered after an intense match. Then Deku was approached by Todoroki and was asked what his quirk really is. Deku happily told him that he could produce fire and manipulate them freely, even the ones that aren't his, and also absorb heats from anywhere, which can make his fire stronger. Todoroki then thought to himself that the quirk is quite strong and might be stronger than his father. This is where we leave for what if Deku was born with a quirk. Thank you for watching and tune in for the next what if video. As always, keep calm and love yourself.